Hello, welcome to another episode of Farming Simulator 22 on Ballysprings. Final field to harvest today, guys. Well, I said final field to harvest, final field we own to harvest. We might go and look at doing some harvest like somewhere else or something. Maybe, you know, maybe something just to help pay the rental agreement or something, or the loan fee, lease fee, whatever kind of terminology you wanna use for it. Right, I've driven that up here because we're going to need that a couple of times. Yeah, we checked all that at the end of the last episode, didn't we? I don't want to do it now. Yeah, this shed didn't really fit in here very well, did it? If I tidy this up here, it kind of leaves a gap in the wall behind. But I did do it in the game rather than in the editor, so... Yeah, we've got this to do today, guys. This is going to be quite a big job to get done today. It's literally the biggest field we own. Right, as we were determining yesterday, guys, between the two fields, which one had more grain. I never actually checked at the end, so I went back through the footage. It turns out the field we did second, you know, the second wheat field, actually did have more wheat than the first one by just over, it was just over 500 really. So yeah, that field closest to the farm is actually the bigger one of the two, which did actually surprise me quite a bit actually. I didn't expect that to be quite so much bigger, especially for 500 litres when we weren't getting loads off the fields. Yeah, the trailer had over 7,000 in it. Like just over 7,000, but it was still over 7,000, where the other one was like 6.6 or 6.5, whatever it was. But yeah, it was definitely more on the second field, which was interesting. It was an interesting fact. Now the question is how much are we going to get off of this field? I'm expecting at least 2 harvester loads. I'd like to try and get maybe 3 headlands done if I can, because that gives me a wider turning circle for going across woods. I want to go across the field, but obviously in order to go across the field I've got to have the turning circle, you know, the room to turn. That's kind of today's plan. It's going to be a bit of a, I don't really want to time lapse it either. That's the downside, because this is officially our last field to harvest. You know, I've got to then windrow, we've got to bale, we've got to plough the fields, we've got to, you know what I mean, we've got a lot of work to do once we've done this harvest, you see. And they're the jobs that we can time lapse up. You know, we only get to harvest once a year. Mr. Ghost, I know you were on about seasonal growth kind of slowing the series down, but I don't know what it is, but I just like to play with seasonal growth, dude. I do know what you mean, like you know, you can only harvest at one point a year. You can only, you know what I mean, you can't spread your jobs out, so you're either super busy or super quiet. And I completely get that, mate. And you know what I mean, I never used to be a fan of seasonal growth, but then I was never a fan of winter coming and just being stuck because of the rain, basically. Like if you had a field ready for winter, and all it did was rain, you just got delayed. At least this way you kind of don't get any rain when you have it, so at least you can crack on with, you know, with the jobs. Can't see because of that bloody tree. Yeah, I say I always comment to everybody when I can. Yeah, just kind of wanted to, I know I put it in a comment to you, dude, you know me, I like to try and reply best I can to people. Wow, that was one headland and that is 51% full. That's insane. Didn't quite expect to. That means this is going to be about full after the second headland. Wow. That's good though. That's good. That means we can keep this field for the chickens. That's what we did last time. I believe this is going to have to be wheat next time. I'm always going to be growing wheat, barley at the moment. We'll always have like a canola field, something like that. But we're always going to have something you know, the majority of it with straw, because like I say, I do believe we're going to get through quite a bit of straw this next year. We're going to have more cows. We need to fill the straw up in the cow pen. That's the biggest thing we need to do. The issue I've got at the moment is we need to rent the straw blower, or at least the KT10 feed mixer. And I kind of just... yeah, well, we can't lease it till we finish the harvesting. Either that, or what we do is we rent a pickup. I know we had a pickup at the very start of this series and we sold it, but we've never really needed to use it until now, and this is why I sold it, because if we'd have kept it, it would have been worthless by now. I was hoping there was going to be a little bit of straw drop out then, so I was trying to keep it tidy best I could. So yeah, we might rent a forage trailer to pick up the straw instead of baling it actually. I don't really know what it is, but it would have been nice if the cows had have accepted straw bales. It accepts every other kind of bale, just not straw. It would have been nice if it had done that. But yeah, I'm not going to buy an actual straw blower. They're really expensive actually. I think I can just use a KT10, just go into it and make the straw loose again, and I think that should just about do it. Right, that is almost the second headland then, and we've managed 91%. This is fantastic. This harvester is doing the job. It's had no problems at all. 180 brake horsepower, this little thing. Nothing massive, but it's done the job. There we go. Yeah, massive fan of the Dominator 105 rental. I believe it's a 1970s model from what I was trying to do a bit of research yesterday. 1974 to 79 was it? I did just waste a little bit of grain there. Yeah, like I say, it's a little bit hard to find some information on some of the tools, but yeah, we do try. We do try to find as much information as we can. It would fit the old school series as well with this. Right, turn that engine off. It is a little bit low on fuel, is the DX140. And there we go. Yeah, I can't believe that's already filled. Like I say, it was a 90%, 88% actually. 88% yield. Come on. Yeah, it's done a cracking job. Absolutely cracking job. Just over 2 headlands, already got a full trailer. The barley yield is just absolutely crazy. I really want to put barley in this field again, but I also do like to have a little bit of rotation. That's going to be the big downside. And I'm going to have to put canola somewhere else this year as well. That means the 2 small fields are going to have to be wheat. The canola field from this year is going to have to be wheat. This field's going to have to be wheat. And then we're going to have to put a canola and a barley field down at the bottom. Like I say, I know we're always growing the same things at the moment, but this is feed we can use. And that's the aim of the game for this one. You know, if we can grow it and use it, that's what we do. I don't want to be putting... Well, I could grow sorghum. Sorghum doesn't tend to yield very well, though. Not compared to barley, let's be honest. Look at the barley. And we get the straw from the barley, so we can definitely get more from the barley. Oh, it's so nice just to see these fields just finish. So yeah, once we finished harvesting this, we're into year 3. All right, year 2 to year 3, we didn't really manage to buy any new fields that we wanted. You know, we did want to hopefully buy a couple of fields by year 3. Instead, we bought 3 productions. We spent 75,000 nearly on productions. Yeah, you can't argue. You know, we didn't buy the field. We didn't buy the real estate from the land, but yeah, I think overall we've done all right. I think year 2 was a success. Plus, we can always look for year 3 for buying more land. Like I said, the whole point is I want to buy this little area. That's the whole idea of this. Like I say, it wasn't meant to be a big series. You know, it wasn't meant to be a fast series, sorry, but it was meant to be a big series. I don't like, as daft as it sounds, I don't like watching people who do a series and like, oh, this series is going to be like 30 episodes long max, and they're just kind of rushing through everything. I'm just not a fan of that. You know, I'm not sure if people, you know, like that of my videos, or if they would prefer me to speed things up a little bit, but it's just the way I like to play, and why not make a video if I'm playing it? That's kind of how I see it. If people like it, that's brilliant. If they don't, you know, it's one of them things. It's not going to please everybody. I determined that many years ago when I started streaming that you just can't please everybody. It's impossible. You always end up someone not liking something you do. Like, I used to be more known on Facebook for Minecraft streams, and there was always someone coming in like, oh, I don't like what you're doing, and there'd be like 12 of us in a server, and we'd all be playing and hanging out and, you know, having little competitions and stuff. I don't know if you, like, I know it's kind of Minecraft talk, but just, you know, to prove my point of, you know, we were once doing an achievement on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, and the aim of the game was to fly through a 1x1 square. So, you know, it's just a 1-block square hole, and you had to fly through it without hitting it, and it was an achievement. And we did that on live streaming just to show how difficult it could be, and it was. And yeah, it was just absolutely crazy, because people, you know, I had a couple of people coming in and they were like, oh, well, this is boring, and I'm like, well, have you ever done this? And they were like, no. I'm like, it's one of that, at the time it was like one of the hardest challenges I thought you could get. We ended up completing it. Everyone in the server actually managed completing it. It was crazy, absolutely crazy. It took us ages. But we had one guy, Mr. Alexander. He was the best one. He must have had about 100 goes. He was just raging all the time. But that was what it was all about, you know what I mean? It was just community games. Yeah, we had nearly got another trailer load already. This won't fit in the trailer either. 11,000. So yeah, we can't get 2 harvester loads in the trailer. Yeah, I thought about doing a little mini Minecraft series again. What it is, guys, is once I've done my Minecraft video during the day, I tend to just sit around and watch telly. The problem I've got is when I sit around and watch telly all day, I know I used to play Apex and I still do, but when the new season of Apex comes out, I like to give it a couple of weeks, because usually there's issues and things like that, and it gives it a chance to like fix it and stuff. So I've kind of been watching TV. I've been watching a TV show called The Orville. A guy who does Family Guy and stuff, and American Dad. I don't think what he's called. Yeah, pretty good show. Bit of adult humour in a, I can only say, like a Star Trekky kind of show. It's all right, you know what I mean. It's good to watch when you've got nothing else to do. My problem is for me is I watch a lot of telly with the wife, so I can't watch anything without her. So I have to find something she's not gonna like. Well, apart from Star Wars, my missus doesn't like anything space related. Not a thing. She's a proper weirdo, proper odd job. I know the wife's a weirdo. She married me. But yeah, so I can't even watch that. The only problem is I've only got 2 episodes. I've literally watched 3 seasons of Orville in 5 days. That's how much telly I watch. But between like 9 and 5, my missus is at work. Bugger. I did just manage to lose a little bit of grain there. Wasn't loads, but I did manage to lose a little bit. Right. Come on, Mr. Deutschfahrt, let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and empty the trailer through it. I am really impressed that we've got 2 harvester loads, and I'd say we're about 70% through the field, really. Trust that to run out right when I was just about to take a screenshot. So if you notice on the minimap, guys, I've got a couple of jobs flashing. Yeah, I've found a couple of ploughing contracts, just accepted a couple of them. I did accept about 5 of them just to make sure they didn't disappear, but they were miles and miles away, and I weren't gonna do them. But yeah, we have to do our own fields. With the plough, and I want to go and do a couple of ploughing contracts while I'm going to be out and about doing stuff. Plus I want to buy the lizard plough just to speed up the ploughing section just a little bit. So if I can get a couple of contracts to help cover the cost of the new plough, that would that's how I kind of want to do things at the moment. Like, I want to go and do a grass contract, because the money it will make us will help us buy a new field. That's why I want to do it. Don't want to go and do a silage contract just for the silage. We don't need the silage. Look what we've got, and our fields will be ready again next month. But next month I would rather go and do a quick silage contract and then buy a new field that way. That's kind of how I want to do things at the moment, until we've no longer got the room to do contracts in general. But I don't think that's going to happen. There's always going to be a month or so where we ain't got much to do, but I suppose if our grass is grown, we can do that. It's like a catch-22 at the minute. We haven't quite got enough right now to do. But we will have enough to do very, very soon. I reckon 3 more fields will pretty much see us out with not needing to do any more contracts. Especially if 1 or 2 of them of the new fields would be, say, grass. I think then we're going to be in a position to struggle a little bit, you know, to get it all done in like 1 day. So some months we'll have a time increase, some months we'll have to have a slightly lower time. Just hope we get this done in this episode, because we are slowly running out of time, and I don't know, we're 2/3 through this video. I know some people will be like, oh, Reaper, you'd have been better putting this in a time and that, but like I say, if I rush this final harvest job, we're back to ploughing, liming, seeding, things like that. Like I said, and I've really enjoyed the episodes lately. Like I said, I watch them back once I've edited them to make sure there's no issues. So if you ever see an issue on YouTube, like massive jump, and like if I don't mention it in the video, it was fine before it went on YouTube. But I do know my internet proper sucks. I've said it many times before. My internet proper sucks, and sometimes it can interfere with an upload. You know, there's not really much I can do about that. It's just, unfortunately, how bad my internet is. Until this new company's finished with their install, I'm stuck. Only 3% full already. We've only done one and a bit headland, one and a bit row, 1.5 maybe. It's just looking so good. Like I say, after we finish the harvesting, I will just windrow the fields up, just because I haven't decided really what I'm going to do with the straw yet. I'd like to put it into bales, because bales are easier to store than loose straw. But the problem I've got is it's just going to be such a nightmare to put it into the cow shed. It's really awkward. So yeah, so loose is better to put into the straw bed, into the straw for the bedding, but it's just getting it from straw back into loose is going to cost us like £10,000 minimum. That's the cheapest one. It's the cheapest feed mixer. And I know it sounds daft using a feed mixer, but it does work. So it's not really a stupid idea. There's no such thing as a stupid idea if it works. It might not be the best way to do it, but if it works, it works. Yeah, I'd love to buy an actual proper straw blower, but they're really expensive. They're like 25 grand minimum. And for me, I just think that is a lot of money for a straw blower. Now, yeah, I know a straw blower has its uses. It's a proper machine. It does everything right, properly, blah. But just, it's a lot of money for just doing one job. Like, if I buy that mixer, worst case scenario, I could start making feed mixes again if I can get the ratio right. %. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be as much as we get done today. Like I say, I do love not doing the time lapse. It's just another raw episode. Trust me, you're not going to want to watch me plough at 4 meters wide, are you? So that's when our time lapses will come in. And like I say, a little bit gutted that the harvest has kind of taken 3 episodes, but I'm also, like I say, it's nice. It's not rushed. Yeah, I can't wait for my new internet to be sorted though. Once my new internet gets all, like I say, once I finish with the install and start connecting people up and stuff, it's going to be absolutely fantastic, because it's 1000 meg up and it's 1000 meg down for the first 6 months, and then they boost you up to 2000 meg. Costs like 50 quid a month. It'll be fantastic when it comes. It means like I can do this video at like 9 o'clock in the morning, edit it, get it exported, get it uploaded. Upload at the moment is 20 meg I use. Wait till it's 1000. It'll be uploaded in next to no time at all. And then I'd actually probably be able to get some more live streams done as well. Because like I say, I've got a live stream series, on the northern coast. I haven't really been able to do that at the moment because my internet, and then, it's not playing up, and it is still working at the moment. But the problem is, by the time my kids come home and get the downloads done and all that, it's just too late to stream. I know it's not too late, like if you were, say, watching on an American time zone, you'd be like, well, that's still early for me. But for me, you know, I've got 2 autistic kids, you know. It's bad enough getting them to bed as it is, and then it's bad enough getting them out of bed. My kids are mean. They don't like to go to bed, but then when they're in bed, they don't like to get up. It's... they do, you know, there's no issues when they get to sleep, but as you can imagine, it's just getting them to get to sleep. It's quite a challenge. We have done all right on this one, 85%, and tractors all the way up that hill. It's not done bad, like I say, and we had no problems at all. So I think this is our go-to setup for this series. It would be nice to buy the harvester, would be nice to buy the header. I can't justify buying it, to be honest. It costs us £2,000 to rent. We have just paid a rental fee though. I think the biggest problem we've got with this machine is it has taken an hour now worth to do, so as an extra fee. It won't be much, but the drive to the farm was so long. I think that's where the extra, you know what I mean? If we'd have put it on a trailer, I think if we put it on a trailer, we wouldn't have had that extra fee. Or maybe that's what we need to maybe look at in the future, maybe. Wow, we're gonna have to empty the harvester right at the bottom of this hill. I can tell you now there's more than 2% worth of barley left. I can tell you that right now there's more than 2%. It's gonna have the tiniest little bit. I'm talking the tiniest little bit. And I knew it. I bloody knew it. This field hates me. The tiniest little bit left. And I wouldn't mind, but guess what? I don't think it's all going to fit in here. It might. It might. Alright, let me just do this a different way. Let me just go up there. Let me get that. And let me get that down there. There we go. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Yeah, look at this lot. Oh, so much straw. Here's an idea. How much is a square... Oh, it's a shame we don't need one of them. How much is that square baler to rent for the straw? I've got no issue with the round one. I've got into the habit of using the round one, but if we use one of these John Deere's, £600 for a square baler. That's not bad though, is it? Just need to get this off the field now. There's the leasing cost, guys. 870. Oh, no way. I could have turned it off. If I'd have turned it off and just returned it on the field, I wouldn't have just lost £800. No way. Wow, this game hates me. This game hates me. Literally driving up the hill just cost me £875. Oh, that leasing cost just screwed me out of that amount of money. I can't believe it. But yeah, I'm going to just drop this into the silo, guys, and then we'll see what amount of barley we've got left. Have a look. Oh. See how much barley we got in total. Yeah, we've got quite a few tools we need to rent over the next month or so. 8,500 litres in this. This second load was more than the other 2 fields put together. Let's have a look. In the silo. Fantastic. Saved. 22,797 litres of wheat, but we did have some left from the previous year. Barley, 19,513. So I think that could be about enough to keep us going. So I suppose it depends which one's worth more. 398 for the wheat. Right, so if we sell the wheat, we can get a few £1,000 in for that when the best time is. The best time is December. So we do have a few months to wait to sell that. That does kind of suck a little bit. Canola is November. You suck as well. Eggs is November. You suck. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Yeah. Close at April, but we're gonna have to sell the close or whatever we can get our hands on price wise. Yeah, I think overall that puts us in a pretty good position. I'm gonna just turn that engine off because that engine is gonna waste what little fuel we've got left in it. Just want to double check up here. We've got nothing. French fries done. Oh yeah, we've got another mixed salad. We have another mixed salad ready to sell. Fantastic. Don't know if there's any more though than that. Let's just have a look in this production. This is why I'm checking it. You see, every day we check it. We've got some tomatoes. We've got some lettuce. So we can leave that going. We can leave the French fries going. It still hasn't spawned yet. I suppose that right now my only issue is this mod for the larger bales. It's just giving me such a nightmare. 3,400 litres of clothing. Now I know it's not a fantastic price to sell right now, the clothing or the material. But let's be honest, I still need to buy new mount. Oh, that's closed. Fabric. So fabric is 3,800. I've got over 10 grand worth of fabric coming out, and that's if I sold it now. So you know we've got a lot of money tied up in stuff at the moment. August is the best for the chips. It's not exactly much of a price difference, to be honest. And then August again, there's not much price difference between the highest price and the low, so we could sell that at any point. I reckon there's a couple of £1,000 coming this way, I presume, so that could pay for a couple of fees. Yeah, I'm just going to drop that time down. As I say, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. I am going to leave it here because, well, the harvest is complete. I will do a little bit of just straw swapping just off recording, just to tidy it up. I'm going to have a quick look to see if there's any more harvesting contracts. Anything little I could maybe do, you know, in a time lapse in the next episode. Just because at the end of the day, yeah, this is the problem. They don't pay much. This is the biggest problem. The harvesting, for me, they just don't pay enough money. Harvesting is not a quick job. Like I could spend an hour doing this, say doing this field here. Or I can spend 10 minutes doing that. Look at that liming contract. Them 3 alone are worth more. And they won't take half as long to do. So yeah. Harvesting is just not worth it on the more difficult economy. It's more down to the field pro work. But like I say, I'll do a little bit of this swathing off recording. If you've liked the episode though, guys, I would massively appreciate it if you could smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button as well if you haven't already. And until the next one, guys, I will see you all later on.